Well, after months in the work, the Bakersfield City Council has moved forward, decided on where it will go with the new low-barrier homeless shelter. The council deciding Wednesday night on the Calcot location in Councilman Andrae Gonzales' ward. He joins us this morning in studio to talk more about last night's decision and the vote. A very close vote.
Very close.
Were you expecting it that close?
I was. You know, this is a very difficult decision to be made for the entire council. Very controversial. Whenever we talk about shelters or things of that nature, there are a lot of people who don't want that in their own backyard. Sure. And so it's going to be a controversial issue no matter where we go.
It was a 4-3 vote. Was there anything in particular last night that you maybe heard either from one of your colleagues on the council or maybe from someone who stepped to the podium that you hadn't heard before?
You know, we heard all throughout the process and in various community meetings that the neighborhood around Calcot was underserved, that many of the roads, the sidewalks, curbs and gutters were lacking, and that we needed to bring them up to Bakersfield standards. And so part of the motion that I made last night, or one of the motions, was for us to have a neighborhood improvement plan that we put in place so we can begin reinvesting in those neighborhoods.
Was that a concern of many of the people that are directly impacted that live near this facility or work, or was that some of their concerns? It
was, and they made a good point that here we're putting a homeless shelter when they've been asking for curbs, gutters, and sidewalks and all these other infrastructure improvements. And so Councilman Weir made a suggestion. He said, let's get this work done as well. Let's focus on these improvements in the neighborhood. We need to make sure that they're all up to standard, and I agree. So that was one of the motions that we carried last night.
When we're looking at all the different, there was also a proposal perhaps pairing up with the county and doing one massive project there. But when you're looking at this Calcot facility, let's talk about the people that are going to be going there. As there were a lot of some misconceptions of people thinking that individuals are just going to walk right up and be admitted. That's not how this is going to work.
No, there is no walk-up facility. It's a referral-only building, and so people will have to be transported to that site. We will not be offering meals or any services directly to people to walk up into. So this is there should be no reason why individuals find themselves on foot at that facility. It will be a referral-only closed campus.
You're talking, and the referrals would come from
service organizations, from agencies such as Flood Ministries, or from the Bakersfield Police Department, or Behavioral Health and Recovery Services.
Would other shelters like the Bakersfield Homeless Center, that type, would it be where someone walks in and they say, well, we can't take you because of this, this, and this, but we're going to send you over there?
That's correct. This is what's called a low-barrier shelter. What we mean by that is we're allowing for pets, for partners and possessions, people with those 3 Ps, pets, partners, and possessions, to find a space there at the Calcot facility. In that way, we can really reduce the number of people who we see on our streets, whether it be downtown or other parts of town, reduce the number on the streets in a real way.
Talk about another P, police and security when it comes to this. That has been a major issue, especially with the potential size once you bring in phase 2 and 3 down the road and expand to several hundred individuals. Now that you have a location, will the BPD be doing more? Will they be joining in all this?
That's a good question. So one of the staff recommendations is for the Bakersfield Police Department to have a substation on that site, on that campus.
Like the sheriffs are planning to do with the county.
Correct, but even more comprehensive, that will serve not just that location but the surrounding neighborhood, so that we can have a stronger presence and respond to the numerous calls for service that we receive within that neighborhood. The volume is pretty high, and so I think that would be a huge asset for that neighborhood to have a police substation there.
Andrae, thank you for coming in this morning. We'll chat with you more as this goes down the road.
You bet. You're welcome.
Very good. All right, let's go over to Danielle.